Hello everyone. So in this session 2, we are going to discuss about how we can configure a Terraform provider, and here we are going to discuss about AWS. So in session 1, we have seen how we can install Terraform in our machine, and we specified there that in session 2, we are going to learn that how we can configure AWS cloud provider for this Terraform. So before moving to that, let me tell you that why this provider is required for Terraform. So we can have multiple type of cloud provider. Terraform is supporting more than 100 different type of cloud provider. Like here we have AWS, here we can have Microsoft Azure, here we can have a Google Cloud Platform, and there could be some proprietary or private cloud providers like Dell, like Oracle Cloud, like IBM Cloud, Alibaba Cloud. So how my tool, which is Terraform, can communicate with these cloud providers. So to connect my Terraform application with this cloud provider, we have to specify a configuration called as provider configuration. So for that, in my Terraform project, suppose I'm going to make a Terraform project. So I'm going to make a Terraform project named as Terraform demo, and here I have to make a file. Name of the file is going to be main.tf, although it could be any name, but extension of the file should be .tf. Here I have to provide this configuration for this provider. Okay, here I have to provide the provider configuration. So here I'm going to put some configuration for AWS so that my Terraform will come to know that I need to connect or communicate with my AWS provider. Then later in next session we are going to see that inside this cloud provider how can I connect to a specific account. For that I required some credentials that I'm going to tell you in next exercise or next session, that how we can connect to a specific account in that AWS cloud provider. So now I'm going to tell you that how we can get this information. Now before that, let's see that what we are going to cover in this session. So in this session, I'm going to tell you that what are the different type of providers available, how we can find out those information on Terraform official website, and out of those, how can I check specifically for AWS. Then I'm going to tell you, although I have already specified in my previous drawing board, that what is the significance of provider information in Terraform. Then how we can make AWS provider informations like AWS account and IAM credentials, that I'm going to cover in session 3, that will come after this soon. And once I'm going to show you that demonstration, then I'll go here. I will tell you that what is the specific web page where you can find out AWS provider information, and on top of that where you need to put your region configuration and access key and secret key. So this specific part also I will majorly cover in session 3 itself. But these two are collectively required. Means just providing provider information is not going to be sufficient. You have to provide your region information, your access key and your secret key. But to make this video short, I'm going to cover this part in upcoming one. Otherwise the video is going to be more lengthy. So to keep it short, I'm going to put this specific thing in next session. And on top of that, I will tell you that where this is specific information you need to provide of AWS provider information. And once you have configured all these things, you have to specifically run this command, Terraform init. And then I'm going to tell you that what this command will do, what is the significance of this command, and what specific steps that command is going to complete in your AWS cloud provider configuration in your Terraform. So let's jump to this. Let me show you that how you can find out provider information and how you can specifically go for AWS itself. For this, I have made this exercise also. Here I have specified that you have to make a folder, and then on top of that folder you have to make a file, and in this file you have to put this kind of code. But in place of directly copying pasting this code into that specific file, I want to tell you that from where I have received this information, that is more important. So in that case, what you need to do, you need to go to, let me tell you from scratch, you need to go to Google, then search here Terraform providers, then the very first page that comes to you, go there, which is this one, browser providers, and here you will see that these are so many number of providers available: AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle, Alibaba, Kubernetes, and these are official cloud. Others are partners cloud like Alibaba, and these are partner clouds. So many cloud it can handle, so many cloud providers or cloud platform it can handle. See, so many, even more than 100 that are specified, but some of those are very special, so we are not going to consider them as a major cloud platform. But yes, the tool is going to cover lots of cloud providers. But here for this tutorial series, we are interested in AWS, and you see that AWS is leading in all of those cloud providers. That's why that is on first position. So go there, click on this, and then here you'll find out these versions. So which AWS provider version you want to choose, you can select here. So you see in my code that when I have made this code, I have used this version 8.3, but the latest is now 5.83.1. You can use any one of these versions, it is your choice. So let's take the latest one. So I'm going to select the latest one, and then from this specific button I will get this provider information. So I need to copy this code, but where this code need to be placed, so that thing I'm going to make first. So as you see in my step-by-step document, I have specified that you have to make this folder first. You can make this folder any places. So I have made this folder in my D drive. So I'm going to make a folder here in D drive. I made this folder. Let me make a fresh one to avoid any kind of confusion. So I'm going to make a folder here, Terraform demo, and I need to open this folder in VS Code. Remember that on the very first session I have specified that you need to use VS Code majorly for writing your script, writing your code. So I have already installed this tool, and you can easily find out that how we can install this tool in your machine. Then here very first thing, do made a folder. So I'm going to make a folder here, session 2, and inside that I'm going to make this file. I'm going to make this main.tf file. I will specify that there could be any file name. It is not specifically need to be main.tf only, but it is a standard name that most of the peoples are using that, and at every place on GitHub repositories also you will find out the same file name. So better to use the same name so that you will get familiar with this specific name. So I'm going to make main.tf file here, and then I need to paste this code. Now in this session I need to just configure this part. This second part we are going to see in next session. So in next session also we are going to use the same file and name, same folder, but to make this session short in terms of duration, I'm just going to take this part only. So I'm going to save it, and then once you have made this file, and what you need to do, you need to simply run in your terminal Terraform init command. But in your terminal you have to first reach to this folder where you have made this script. So you should be there inside your folder in your command prompt. So in your command prompt you have to jump to this folder. You should be inside this folder, and then you have to run that command. You can simply put this command Terraform init, and then hit enter. Then it is going to, so what this command is actually doing, what this configuration is actually doing, let me explain you this thing also. So it will go to your HashiCorp repository, and in that repository for all these cloud providers they have made separate folder. You see here they have made in this registry, they have made AWS folder, AWS repository, and from there they are going to fetch this from this repository. Source code is there. They are fetching this 5.83.1. okay, and then this exe is going to come and download it here. So it is downloading actually an exe file from this location, which is going to be executable for this driver. You can consider as a Terraform driver for connecting or communicating with your AWS. So it will take some time, maybe that near about 1 minute. It depends upon your internet speed. And once that is going to be done, here you will find out a success message, initialization success. You see Terraform has successfully initialized. So let me put this output there. Because I'm going to upload all this document in a GitHub repository, and I'm going to share the link with you soon, so that okay, so I'll put this screenshot so that when you are going to do yourself anytime, you will come to know that how that output was look like. So this is going to be that output of this command. So I'll upload this document soon, previous class session document also, and this session document also, so that you are not required to write down a single line of code. Everything will be available in this document. Great. So now you are successfully connected with your AWS account. Now your Terraform is ready to perform something on AWS, but this particular thing we have done, your Terraform is now connected through this file to this AWS provider. Now in next session we are going to see how this Terraform will go one level inside, and that is going to connect to your cloud account, so that it can create those resources on this account. Okay, so this is going to be my next session content, that how I'm going to jump inside that account, and next session, which is going to be the fourth session, we will be seeing that how we can spinning up the resources or creating the resources in this account like EC2 instances. So that is going to be my fourth session content. Okay, so that is all about for this session 2, where we have seen that how we can configure AWS cloud provider in my Terraform. So as per this outline, for day 2, session 2, we have seen this specific thing as well. Great. So now this is that content for session 2. We are going to see session 3 soon. I'm going to upload session 3 content recording and all these step to step specifications soon. So see you there in next session. All the best.